to all of my dreamers out there. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some more DPR Ian content. Now, this is not the album or anything. I'm kind of doing something a little bit different with my random K-pop Wednesdays. Disclaimer, I know DPR Ian is not K-pop, but that's just kind of the show that I put on. I'm doing something a little bit different, which is I get so many recommendations, and I'm the type of person who wants to do all of them. But I know realistically I won't be able to. So I've started putting the requests that I've been getting into a wheel, spinning it, and just kind of doing whatever pops up. So that way I don't have to make the decision and you guys can't be mad at me. And it makes it a little more fun, a little more randomized, which I love randomization. So I do 10 videos at a time, spin the wheel, whatever pops up, and we do it for the next week's random K-pop Wednesday. So for this week, we got DPR Ian and this sort of interview, I guess it is, podcast thing where he talks about his songwriting process, mental health, peanut butter and tears, whatever that is, and more. So we're going to get into this. It's 34 minutes long. I chose this one specifically. The person recommended several of the interviews and such things, but I chose this one because it's quite short compared to other ones. The other ones are like an hour, 2 hours, and it's not that I don't want to, it's just that it takes so long. The long videos like that don't do well on my computer, and it's a struggle. I've had to split up videos in the past, and it's difficult. This is probably the only one that I'm going to do on my channel, at least for now. Be aware of that. Now, I do currently have a very horrible pain in my back. So if I ever make a movement and wince or sort of cringe a little bit, that's why. It really hurts. I don't know why. It's a similar pain that I had in my kidneys once, but now it's in the middle of my lower back. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But it hurts really bad. So just be aware if I ever make a face, it's probably because of the pain, not because of anything that's happening on screen. Now, this was recommended by Ari something. Sometimes these names are really difficult. I can't tell if it's an L or like one of those symbols that's like a line. But anyway, Ari 6380. I apologize if that's wrong, but these same names are sometimes are crazy. But anyway, thank you to them for recommending this. Like I said, probably the only one I'm going to do a reaction for. I might watch the other ones on my own, just because those ones are super long and all that good stuff. So we're doing this one for today. This is part 2 of this week's Random K-pop Wednesday. Now part 1 is ENHYPEN for the second time on my channel. I checked out a compilation because their music was good, but the concept wasn't hitting, so I was curious about their personalities, and so I checked out a compilation. And then part 3 will be some more one-week content. I'm very excited to check them out again because I've done One Us twice, and now this will be the second time I'm doing One We. I really enjoyed them. So if you're interested in them, if you're interested in ENHYPEN, be sure to stick around for today and get these videos as they come out. Now, of course, because this is a longer video, I do want some coffee. It's going to be a struggle getting up and down out of this chair. I'm not in a chair, I'm on a bed, but it's going to be a struggle because my back really hurts. So it's fine, but I really want coffee. So coffee will make me feel better. Probably not, but it will my soul. We're going to spin the magical wheel, see what flavor we get for today. And today we have loaded chocolate chip. That's a good one. I'm excited about that. So I will go make that. You guys will come with me, of course, and I will be right back. All right, and I'm back. I got my coffee. It is so good today. If you skip past the little coffee making, it's loaded chocolate chip with Italian sweet cream and brown butter chocolate chip creamer. It's so good. And for today, I'm wearing this really cute pink shimmer. This is the Pisces color from the Wet n Wild Star Sign collection. It is so cute and pretty, and I love it. And I love these because they smell like icing. So, yeah, we're just going to get into this. 34 minutes, so buckle up, get yourself a snack, some coffee, some tea, some water, whatever it is, and let's just get into it. 102.7 KIISFM.
Dude, it is a pleasure to finally meet you, man.
I know. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. DPR Ian is here, and just funny backstory. Yeah, I had an interview with the artist Max.
Yes.
Just before you walked in,
Yeah.
and you were scheduled to come in about an hour after.
Right.
And I thought, I wonder if these schedules work out where you guys can kind of.
Yeah.
And you bumped into Max, and he seemed to love you. And what was that? Did you know? You didn't know that was going to happen?
I had no idea. Yeah, I was just coming back from the toilet, and I was just so shocked because it was, first of all, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Same.
Thank you so much. And and then all of a sudden, Max was there too, and it was just like, oh, it's meant to be, So who knows? Maybe future works. Maybe
that's if a collab happens. I just want to say
would be something.
I'm going to take credit for that collab if it happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, you originally from Sydney, Australia?
That's correct.
And of course you moved to Seoul after that.
Yes, that's correct.
But you're not. Where's home now?
So that's a good question.
Oh wow! So you're all over, huh?
Yeah, I've been kind of like a nomad. I just kind of keep moving and moving. Honestly, right now it's LA. We just moved here about a year ago.
What do you think so far?
To be completely honest, I don't think we've experienced LA to the point where I can really kind of tell you like how it feels. But I do hear a lot of things. First of all, I love the weather. It's very Australian. And
can't relate.
For me, I think as soon as we
need
got
it to be
here,
cold.
we went on tour.
Starting to warm up now, and I'm so scared.
So I
hate
had
the warm
spent
weather.
more time out than in, and we just recently got back, and starting to feel it out now. But it's nice.
Traffic when it comes to like LA traffic versus Sydney or Seoul, is LA like by far the worst traffic, or is it similar?
I think when it gets honestly, I think Korea traffic is something else.
Really?
Yeah, traffic in Asia, just period. Sydney, I think Sydney's kind of more similar to LA. When it gets congested, it just doesn't move at all. But it doesn't happen. I mean, you somehow still get through it. But in Korea, you just kind of, you're just like a sitting duck for the longest time, and you can maybe doze off and still come back, and you'll move like a few inches. Yeah.
Oh God, it sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Hey, and I read
Traffic's
somewhere
not
that
too
you
bad
had
around
lost
here
your,
unless you go
your
downtown.
Australian accent when you moved to Seoul, but I hear your Australian accent perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
To be honest though, it really did die down a lot because in Korea we don't have that many well, I haven't met too many Australian Koreans or Australians period, and my crew and the
Which is
people
crazy
that I hung
because there's
around,
like, I could name like 5 K-pop idols who are Australian. Like, that's wild. So it's like, I don't know, why is that the case? Like, is there a reason? Is there a lot of I mean, I guess because K-pop idols don't usually go to Australia, so are the people in Australia like, fine, I'll do it myself? Or do a lot of Koreans live in Australia? Or a lot of Australians move to Korea? Like, do you know the reason? Because like, I do see several Korean Australians, and it's just kind of strange. I'm like, it's not strange in the sense of, weird, but it's like, I've just kind of noticed it. And I'm like, that's interesting to me.
with at that time were speaking American English.
Right.
So then when I started mixing my accent with the American accent, and then I tried speaking Korean because I wasn't really good at it. I started sounding very like like they have like a very interesting accent. It sounds like a very like North Korean accent. So people thought I was from the north.
Oh gosh.
Are you adventurous? Like, do you travel a lot too? I feel like you would.
You know what? If I could, I would.
Yeah.
I'm in
So
Burbank
busy.
so much over here.
Oh,
So
boy.
yeah, you know. All right. Hey, once again, DPR Ian's hanging out. I need to know the backstory of, and granted, I've read all this, stuff, but we were talking off air. There's more to
DPR.
what I have read about DPR and the backstory, and what does it mean? Is it a production crew? How do you see what is DPR?
Well, DPR stands for Dream Perfect Regime, and honestly, in the beginning, the acronyms were a little different. I came up with the acronyms right around the time I left C-Clown, which used to be my old K-pop idol group.
Right.
So it was in pursuit of trying to create something new in the scene. And at that time in Korea, there wasn't too many, I would say, production companies that went off independently. So for me, the dream was to kind of create a movement where you have your in-house productions and your in-house artists really come together creatively and build some type of vision. And for me, it was just all about art, and that's kind of when I picked up the camera. And as I was telling you earlier, the acronyms used to be Director, Pink, Real.
Director,
Pink, and then Real.
Director, Pink, Real. Now, what in the world does that mean?
You know what? If you ask me now, I have no idea. I have no idea. But I used to do these like, you know how people have watermarks on their videos and stuff. So I used to squiggle like these pink lines. I don't know why. I really don't. I wish I did. But
oh my gosh, he's so beautiful.
You know,
just inside and out. Like I can just tell. Like physically, he's beautiful, but like just his heart, I just know is so beautiful.
Artists, idols, and all of a sudden we.
I like how he says
rebrand
artists. He says artists.
DPR acronyms to Dream Perfect Regime, which kind of stands for. I mean, you know, the word regime is pretty like it could sound intense, you know, nowadays, but it's kind of like for us, it was just a strong enough word to describe our passion to wanting to create a dream that supported, like, I think, independent thought and creative ideas. And because I feel like in Korea, there's such I wouldn't call lack, but a lot of people are scared to have a voice in general, just because.
Really?
Yes, because I think it's more generally based on the idea if you stick out too much, you could be judged a lot. And for, you know, Asian communities especially, I think in terms there's a lot of, we call it nunchi in Korea, which means you're kind of overlooking what that person might think of you. And it's a very conservative way of thinking as well at the same time. I think it's a cultural thing. But because of that, it really does have its pros and cons. But if you really think about it, it is a big echo chamber.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to bring out the idea of, like, you know, you could be different and you can really speak out about it, and you could still find a way to make it in the scene. And I think that's what DPR really stands for. It's the independence of kind of believing in yourself. And that's kind of where we took our vision for Dream Perfect Regime.
So a lot of people that work with you have that kind of out-of-the-box thinking, so to speak?
100%. I would say none of us are normal.
Love that.
You came to the right place over here, that's for sure.
We don't need any more normal people.
Because I feel like this track has either an interesting or unusual backstory just with the title alone, Peanut Butter and Tears. What can you say? It's got to be a wild story, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
All right, give me all them details.
I think, so just to briefly put it, I think I made this song about a couple of months back, last year, I believe. And for Australians, well, for the people in Australia, we don't call it peanut butter and jelly, as you guys call it in America.
What do you call it?
we call it toast. Like literally, we just call it toast. So I found
what if the toast has peanut butter and jelly on it?
We actually do. So we have peanut butter and jam.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but
I mean, there's a difference between jelly and jam.
It's not a usual combo. Like we usually put like honey and Vegemite. You love? Have you tried Vegemite?
I've tried it.
Immediate response.
Tried it in the proper way.
Yes.
Maybe it gets a bad rap. But I had a friend who, showed up, and it was she was an artist. She is an artist, and she showed up with the Vegemite.
Wow.
And maybe just the fear of the taste of it really kind of. I took a bite of it and I just it was not the thing.
I agree though. It's you probably can't eat it as it is. I would never do that. Like I don't know how people can. I don't even know what it's made out of, but
I don't even know what this is.
Honey, but then anyway, like you guys have peanut butter and jelly, which I found was very interesting. I like the name because I didn't know jelly was like the actual jam that you guys use.
Right.
So I thought, wow.
Okay. Let's settle this debate right here. Jelly and jam, different. Jelly, only the jelly part. Jam has seeds or fruit in it. Okay?
For some reason, like
I
have eaten peanut butter and jam before, but
I'm sure it is probably different in different parts of the world. But that's kind of how I see it. Jelly and jam are two different things.
Peanut butter and jelly now? Does that make sense?
Like just to be part of this whole thing.
Yeah, just to be part of it. And I think there's a period in time where I got really addicted to it. So I was like, I don't know why. I loved it so much.
It's good. That's
so
why.
It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good.
I actually don't really eat too many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I need to start eating more peanut butter. I've heard that it's actually good for you in moderation, of course, but I'm not really. I like peanut butter and jelly, but typically what I'll do is I will make what is called a fluffernutter. Now, that is peanut butter on a sandwich with marshmallow fluff. I will throw up a picture if you don't know what it is. I know some people don't know what this is. It is marshmallow fluff. It is essentially condensed marshmallows. Like they've kind of like made them into almost a liquid. Like it moves very slowly. If you like turn it on its side, it will move. It will fill the container. So it is technically a liquid, I guess. But it has a solid consistency when you like spread it on something. But marshmallow fluff on one side, peanut butter on the other, put them together. It is so good. I don't even like marshmallows that much because I don't like the dry, chewy texture. But marshmallow fluff, I could just eat it out of the tin. Like, it's so good. So that's kind of how I don't really use jelly. I use marshmallow fluff.
And then you have like
fluffernutters with the sandwich is called.
Jam.
Oh,
yeah. I could eat that all day, and I did eat it all day. So there was a period in time where I got really hooked on it, and it kind of reminded me of.
I'm sorry. I keep pausing. We're gonna be here for a while. I was literally craving a peanut butter sandwich the other day, and I very rarely crave peanut butter, but I did that day. Go into the kitchen. We have no peanut butter. My entire life, we've always had a jar of peanut butter. At least like half a jar. We've always had something in the kitchen. But the one time I was actually really craving a peanut butter sandwich, we had no peanut butter. And I was really sad about it. I was like, that sucks.
When I was younger, I was like, I didn't really think of peanut butter and jelly. Like, I don't know why I'm so honed into it now as to when I was younger. And, you kind of think when you're younger, the appeal of the peanut butter and jelly is because you're so youthful and you're so innocent and you take everything as it is. You kind of see the world like that. It's more colorful. And that's why, peanut butter and jelly, for me right now, because I've kind of grown and I feel like I've grown out of my shoes, like it just serves as a friendly reminder of what I possibly must have like really enjoyed when I was young. So I think I gave it like such a meaning to it. But then when I look back as a kid, it really wasn't anything.
Mm-hmm. So the song itself, Peanut Butter Tears, is some sort of a nostalgic.
It is nostalgic, and I think it's in reverse. So when I was younger, it's kind of like I kind of saw the world as something that's like a playground, but it wasn't that special because when you're young, you just kind of perceive it as it is. But only when you grow out of it, you kind of tend to realize what was special, what was so special about it, because you have something to compare it to now. And I think that's what peanut butter and tears have come from. So jelly, for me, was like this significant part where it introduced the fun and joy. I do like peanut butter, but I mean, I feel like the jam jelly really does a lot of, and it's colorful. And
true, add some color. You can put some different flavors in there.
With tears is kind of like the adolescence of understanding your maturity and growing out of your youth. And it's for me kind of works backwards, because as I get older, I kind of tend to want to become or tend to find myself when I was more youthful. And but when you're younger, you just kind of take it as it is, and it really wasn't a big deal, and you just kind of tend to forget as you get older.
This is okay. I don't know if I've ever heard. I don't think I've ever played a song on the radio.
Oh, really?
Called Peanut Butter. I don't think. Yeah. So,
Okay.
so this is a special moment. So it's one of those things.
Thank you. That's nice.
Yeah. DPRE and of course Peanut Butter Tears. Must check that. And
Yes, please.
new album in the works.
Yeah.
Don't leak what you can't say, or I don't know what you know. What?
That's okay. I'll just say it.
Oh God.
Yeah. No. So that single is part of the album called Dear Insanity. Dear Insanity is a side story to the main story, which is based on a character called Mido. So Mido is the character that I switch into when I go on a very manic low because I have bipolar.
Right.
So I have a tendency to switch, kind of like DID, into a character called Mido. And I based my whole artistry and concept around that character. I mean, knowing well enough, if you give a certain, I guess you could call a disorder a name, I know how much power you're giving to it. But for me, if it wasn't that, like I really don't know what to sing about and really how to express my art. So for me, that was the main kind of storyline, which is why you have the first EP and the second official album based on this character Mido. And it's pretty much just about where he fits and how he's
And I have
developed
checked
in
out his
this
first
world
album,
and
which I will link in
where
the
he comes
description.
from. And it's a very
If you want to
fantasy
check out my
like
reaction
tale. But
to
this
that.
side EP called Dear Insanity, which is coming out, I forgot the date, but it's coming out probably next 2 months or something. It's pretty much a side story based on the character Mr. Insanity, which is, as you know, as if I have my lows, this a character that represents my highs, and that is Mr. Insanity. So it's like this ongoing feud of your lows and your highs, and you're stuck right in between. So for me, like I always thought, being lukewarm, where I've only ever known in my life extremely highs and extreme lows. So for me, like being in the middle, lukewarm, it always served as a very uncomfortable position.
But now you're trying to get more comfortable with the lukewarm?
Yeah. I think when I was younger, it was more about the fear of like, what if I dip? And the fear of, well, not the fear, but kind of more of the pressure of like, I really want to go up, because I've always wanted to stay high with my manic highs, because it was just more, you felt very overpowered and you spontaneous. Granted, it's spontaneous, but you felt everything aligned. But I mean, when you're down there, it's like a whole switch. It feels like a complete different world. And the projects that you start when you're here, as to when you're down here, you kind of don't know how you did it. So like there'll be some times when I'll be making a song, and say like Mr. Insanity would be making a song, and then I'll switch to Mido, and then Mido would flip the song, and all of a sudden you have this first part of the song sounding like some electronic indie type of genre, and then all of a sudden it changes to orchestral and very like requiem style classical music. And I'll just wake up to it and I'm like, oh, I have no idea what happened here. So
can I ask a question about that? And maybe it's a sensitive question, but I've had a friend with bipolar, and when you're creating a song, you said you can switch from the characters, meaning the high or the low of bipolar.
That's correct.
So you can control that, or it just happens? Because my friend could not control.
You have no control of that.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. It's kind of like a chemical imbalance that goes in your brain, I think, and I mean, depending on the type. So for me, it's type 1 is I think just rapidly high, intense moments, and it's sometimes the manic episodes could go for certain periods of like a week, 2, even months for some people. But you feel it, like you definitely. It's kind of like when, I don't know if this is an interesting metaphor, but when animals feel an earthquake's coming, it's kind of like you feel as if something's changing inside you.
You can tell it's like you can feel the rumble.
Oh yes. And I think that's when you know, okay, I'm dipping, because we have a saying where it's like what goes up must come down, but then what goes down, it's kind of like a hill, and you roll a ball and it catches momentum and it goes down and it kind of goes back up, slowly creeps back up, but then just enough to tip down again. So it's like a constant wave. And for me, I've realized, I think people are different. For me, I realize I'm very seasonal. So when the weather changes, my body becomes extremely sensitive to that, I guess, imbalance. And then that tips me as well. So it's before, like, they used to call me the weatherman because it was like, because every time I go down, they know
That's
something's
funny.
going to
Here
change with
comes
the
the
weather.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And funny enough, that's how it really did happen. So yeah, it was only until I started making this into a character and in my music. And I think the craziest part was when I first saw that character, because for me, when I switch, I usually don't have people around me because I'm scared of what I might say or what I might do, and I'll never remember that when I wake up
Mhm.
because you just kind of go in a little blackout. And I think the first time it was hard because I was now making this into a character. I gave it a name, so I know how much power there is in that already. But shooting the music video for that, it was like,
Oh wow. Yeah.
yeah, I kind of it was the first time I let my switch happen on screen. We kind of, well, I kind of scheduled the music video shoot to be when I was on the decline, and I think funny enough, I was at my peak, and
It seems kind of terrifying in a way.
it is
like,
very
'cause
terrifying.
if you're worried about controlling what you're,
100%. But I thought, if not now, when. So that was so beautiful. That was music video so beautiful, and
Which I have
the
checked out.
scenes that you see in So Beautiful, where
I
it's
actually
all
did 2
black and
videos on
white,
his first
that was my
album, so I'll
switch.
put them both in
And
the
what was funny
description.
was on set, I remember just walking up to it and thinking, I can't believe this is happening. And then the camera was ready to roll, and we're speeding, and I kind of took a moment. I kind of asked them when we were going to start rolling it, and then they said, and we got this all on behind the scenes, but they said I've already done 3 takes of it.
What?
Yeah,
So that's one of those blackout moments.
yeah.
Wow,
So
that
that was
is
the switch.
fascinating.
Yeah, and I was
That
I
is
was
very interesting. It's
I was
it's
honestly very surprised. Even thinking
yeah.
now, it's
And you couldn't remember any of the
no,
3 takes.
no.
I
And
can't
I didn't
imagine
believe
what it's
them
like.
but then I was drenched because there was a scene where it was a room
My
and
nose is so itchy.
the
I
room was
apologize.
raining, just raining hard, and I didn't believe them until I went to the monitors,
Mhm.
and when I saw the monitors, that was the first time I could actually see my switch being recorded.
Mhm.
So it was, I think, for me, the most relieving, but at the same time terrifying um, things I've ever seen in my life.
And clearly, when you saw the footage,
Yeah,
you must have loved it. Obviously,
it was a little it was hard to edit. I'll give you that. It was a little hard to edit because I tried to leave in as much as I could, but there were some parts that I just couldn't leave
Right.
in. But so I had to make a significant, um, I guess, point that all the black and white scenes there weren't me,
Yeah.
which is why that music video goes from color to straight black and white. So that's the little significance. If
yeah, and this
yeah.
is all fascinating. How you've
Yeah.
taken this and kind of taken control over it
Yes,
in a way.
yeah.
Like I mean, you've embraced it in a way.
Yes, yes. I think I would like to think I embraced it, but at the same time, the one thing that I think I'm somewhat troubled with is it was kind of, and this was the I guess the hard decision that I had to make, because I wasn't really planning on becoming an artist, because I knew if I wanted to do music and kind of go in the spotlight with this, it meant that I would have to be talking about something that's very personal.
Yeah.
And for me, if you give any disorder or anything a name, I know how much power you give to it. But at the same time,
Reason you gave it, because I would think this is my question from the outside looking in.
yes,
I would think if you name it,
yes,
you can kind of, I don't know, you can kind of
take control.
yeah, maybe, but that's not the case, or is it?
I think that was my approach in the beginning. I think my approach was
Yeah, and that's actually
uh,
kind of how I feel too, as someone who I have my own struggles, but it's not nearly to the extent of Ian. But I've always seen it as, yes, sometimes labels can be damaging, but in my experiences, knowing what something is so much easier to deal with than not knowing what it is, or not knowing what to call it, or not understanding this thing. I think sometimes labels are necessary to then go on to understand something. And in some of aspects of my life, I have no labels. In some, I like the labels. I'm kind of back and forth on it. Maybe some people have labels for everything and some people don't like labels at all. Like, but I'm very in the middle of like some aspects of my life. I want to have the labels because it brings me comfort to know what it is, such as like, my mental health, like anxiety and depression and, all that sort of thing. But then in terms of like, like my identity, like who I am and stuff, it's just like I don't really care about labels because we are just humans and we are who we are and that's just what it is. So as someone who's very in the middle, it's very interesting to hear his perspective of, in his opinion, giving something a name gives it power. So it is very interesting to hear different experiences.
Finding out more about it, finding out more about certain disorders that are linked to this. And I think for me, it was the more I dug, the more it took a hold of me, I think.
I can
And the
understand
funny
that.
thing is, like, with these switches, it's like it doesn't. It's like it's really based on like me, Ian, right now. It's really based on how I am physically and mentally right now. So if I, let's say, am at the healthiest I've ever been, so is my disorders. So is my switches.
Right.
It's actually, for me, I found out it wasn't like, oh, you get healthy and, you figure out a healthy lifestyle. It's like the switches will always happen. You can't really control your manic episodes. And a lot of people are obviously prescribed medication. But I'm sure you'll hear this I'm sure a lot of people that have bipolar that are in the, I think, artistic expressive scene, they'll tell you this. They'll say medication will numb you and it will make you feel like not yourself, which is probably worse. So I mean that's the only reason
Gotcha.
why I think medication was one thing that I would resort to. But then imagine taking that and then you have to go on set and shoot something or
Yeah.
make music, or you have to go on stage. You'll be going off as a zombie. So
Yeah, that would be kind of just that would probably defeat some of the purpose of going up there, being
yes,
dynamic and
100%,
whatnot. Now, I
100%.
assume you've had fans, friends. Let's just focus on fans part of it. Like,
Yep.
your fans.
Yes.
You're not the only one to deal with by being bipolar.
No.
Have they come up to you and said, "Hey,
Oh my
I have
gosh.
this too"? And what's been that interaction? I'm sure that you've helped quite a few
It's
people.
actually
And maybe
very
you've helped.
interesting because I've heard a lot of people say stuff like that. Like it makes you not yourself and it makes you numb. And I think especially in like the creator space, it's very important for you to sort of still be yourself and be able to create and be able to go up on stage and give a dynamic performance. But I also think that as someone who has had, I guess, secondhand experience, I don't really know what you would consider first or secondhand experience, but I've known someone who maybe wasn't ever formally diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but was on medication for some sort of disorder of the moods and personalities, who changed for the better for the time being, but stopped taking the medication because they felt like they weren't themselves or they felt like they were being changed. It is frustrating as someone who's looking into that, not feeling it, because when your actions affect those around you, hurt your relationships and, hurt other people and can't give you the best quality of life because you can't connect with people. I think that in those cases, medication may be necessary. But again, this is coming from someone on the outside. So please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to give my personal experiences. Those couple months were different in a good way. When that person stopped taking the medication, it just went right back to what it was like before, and that was that. So I think in some cases it is necessary, but if you are a creator and you're not hurting people, you're not sort of self-sabotaging with your relationships and you're not hurting other people or yourself, then I don't think that there's really a need for the medication just to take control of your disorder or whatever. But if you're still creating and you're still forming relationships and you can go on stage and be appropriate and stuff, then, you don't need the medication. So I think definitely as an artist,
Help
that
you.
makes more sense.
I would say they gave me meaning. So I think
Hmm.
during the period of time, because I kind of
And I
debuted
think for
during
him, it
Corona,
helps a lot knowing
so
that
I
his
was a
fans
Corona
go through the
artist, and
similar
Which
or
is no
same
fun time.
which
things,
is
Yeah.
no
and
Yeah.
fun because there's no
can
shows.
relate to
So
him.
I literally,
Oh God.
yeah, I literally put out an album, and then my second album, before ever understanding or ever knowing what type of reach I had with
Hmm.
what type of crowd. So I think it was so right after that, we went on world tour once Corona kind of died down a little, and it was the first time I got to see who my music was impacting. And I would always remember, like, not the shows itself, but really when the shows finish, and you know how you go to the bus and if the fans are waiting for you, I would always take time to listen to as many of the fans' stories as I could, because I think it was the first time I got to see who it was impacting. And I would always remember all these fans per show would say how much my songs saved their lives.
Wow.
And for me to hear that, it's like I can't fathom that. Like I just that's exactly what I wanted it for it to do, but I think it was such a different approach when I actually heard it. And I think for me, I always say this, but it makes all of these things that I was just telling you about, becoming an artist, and potentially becoming maybe more self-destructive in a way where you are honing into a certain disorder and you're bringing it more to life. But I think by uncovering it, it becomes so much worthwhile to fans if it becomes that type of representation
Hmm.
where it's like if you can. I mean, there's a saying where it's like, if I could just remember, but something along the lines of the disorder um, doesn't represent who you are. Um, and for me, I think that's kind of the message I really did want to bring when I wanted to make this really personal. Because I think at the end of the day, I was researching certain people that have the same type of bipolar. That was my first go-to as like celebrities or
Hmm.
people in the scene, and just to my dismay, I think there was a lot more tragic incidents in this scene with people with that type of disorder. So I kind of wanted to be more of that beacon of like hope, I guess you could say.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do know how self-destructive it might be, because I think the one thing you don't want to give people with certain manic disorders is you don't want to stimulate them too much, because if you're in your manic highs, the more you're stimulated, the more you get, I'd say, insane ideas, and you'll truly believe it. And I think for me, it's like the approach of like knowing how to balance that, but there is no balance.
It's
Right.
one thing you said, but and by the way, I didn't mean I didn't. I have a list of questions I was going to ask you,
Oh
and
no, it's
none of
okay.
them included.
Oh yeah,
You
no,
know, so
sorry
no, no,
about
no,
that.
but
Sorry.
I appreciate you talking about this.
Yeah.
They say never if you're sick, you have a cold or whatever, never go on to one of the medical websites, because
Right.
if you log on, you're no matter if you got just a cold, you're going to think you're going to die.
Yeah.
So if you,
Yeah.
it's just you're going to feel worse.
You know what?
Don't look
Yeah,
it up.
I found out the hard way.
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you for
thank you
for
so much.
talking
I'm
about all
sorry
that
if
stuff.
this was like kind of
No,
detracting.
I mean, I would have never asked,
Yeah.
but now that you brought it up, I felt like, man, I felt like you needed to
Yeah.
go there for some reason,
Mhm.
and I really was curious
Okay,
on what
cool.
you had to say.
No
So,
worries.
thank you. Okay, one of the
Yeah.
questions I was going to ask you though, when I first
Oh,
started
yeah.
getting tats,
I love him, by the way.
but thank you very much. But before I got tats, I would ask somebody like, hey, how many tats do you have? And they would go, I don't know. And I would think, how do you not know how many tats you have?
Yeah.
Then I start getting tats, and somebody says, how many tats you got, JoJo? I'm like, I don't know. So
I don't know.
how many tats do you have?
I was like, in my head, I was gonna count as many as I could. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
Why
That's
are
so funny.
tattoos
I currently have 3.
addicting, for lack of a better word?
I think the addiction part comes
One
from
is very
like
easy to see. It's
after you get your first
War
one, and then
turtle.
you're like, okay, this feels empty. I feel like this needs to be a little bit more covered. I think that's kind of where you start getting the addiction. But for me, I think because of how spontaneous I am, I think for me it's more. In the beginning, it was like funny enough. I mean, I keep going back to this, but every time I have a certain event, good or bad,
right,
that happens that is kind of life altering for me, I would always mark that as a tattoo.
no kidding.
That's cool.
And it doesn't matter where I'm at. So it would be if I remember I was in Peru for this one. So I was in the mountains and I just had like a very eureka type of moment. And I just went to the village and they started poking this on my hand.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't finish it because it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's another thing. Are you good at
No.
paint? Oh, sorry.
Like, I can't get. I don't. I hate getting shots. You know.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
But and granted, getting a shot is different than a tattoo.
Yeah.
It's more of a scratching thing. I get
Right.
that, but I'm not a needle fan
Right.
at
Right.
all.
Oh,
So
you're like me then.
Yeah, I absolutely hate needles. I hate getting shots. I hate getting blood drawn. The thing is though, I would much rather sit under a needle for an hour or two than get piercings. So I could not get piercings. I have 0 piercings on my entire body, okay? I like to think that I would like piercings, but I know that in practice I would not. So I don't have any piercings, but I would much rather sit under a needle for an hour or two and just get a tattoo and then be done with it. It does hurt and you don't get used to it. But for me, it's not that bad. Like I have one here, I have one, I have 2 on both, I have one on both my legs, and so it's inside of my ankles. So, which I know some people say is a bad spot, but I think it's like right above my ankle, so it's not like that close to the foot, so it's like not super thin skin. It really wasn't that bad, but I want more. I want the one tattoo that I know for sure that I want is a like very realistic tattoo of my favorite bird, which is an American robin. Very cute. I love them. I really want one of those. Maybe I would put it like on my arm or something. I don't know. But then I also probably would want like more sort of like cartoony stuff. Like I have the Pokemon. I would love, it'd be kind of cute if I had the other 2. Like if I had why am I forgetting the other 2? Venusaur and I know it's Charmander something and then Charizard. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting? Oh my gosh, I have to look it up because I'm so, no one ever talks about the middle evolutions, but I'm a middle child, which is why I got the middle evolution of Squirtle. So, oh, Charmeleon. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot that it was even called that. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you look up Pokemon on Google, you get you get to catch it. Anyway, but yeah, so I think it'd be cool if on the rest of my forearm I had Venusaur and Charmeleon. I think that'd be kind of cool. The reason I got this one though is because when my little sister turned 18, she got her first tattoo and it was a Squirtle. I got the Wartortle and my older sister got the Blastoise because it's like a sister tattoo, but it's not cringe, you know? I guess some people could call this cringe because it's Pokemon, but what are you gonna do? I think it's much cuter and more relevant to my life than other sister tattoos. Like, gross. Anyway, but yeah, I love tattoos and I
Just
want
one of
so
the
many
weird
more.
things. Do you have any tattoo regrets or?
I think I have like a couple of tattoos that I'm like, oh, I don't remember when I took that because I have so many moments. And I'll just kind of do it over, I think. But for now, I think it's fine. I think.
Doing good now. All right.
Yeah.
You don't know this about me. This is the final thing I'll touch on.
Yes.
And this has nothing to do with music, nothing to do with you, really.
Okay.
I will see. I don't know. I am obsessed with the paranormal.
Oh, wow.
Ghost, UFOs,
Wow.
everything in between. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Wow.
Have you ever had anything, any experience that you would consider paranormal?
To be completely honest, yeah, it's like when I do these switches.
Oh wow, okay.
Do you believe that the human mind, the consciousness, our brains are capable of I'll guess training new type of skills to a person or understanding. For example, if there's a part of your brain, I feel like when you switch, if you're someone that felt pain physically and you're so not good at feeling pain, and you switch to a character and that character had different type of wiring in the brain because you allowed yourself to switch. Do you believe that it's capable that a person could now not feel pain?
I think it's certainly
Yeah.
certainly possible.
Right,
I don't know
depending-
how it would work.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I think everyone would love to learn how to
Right.
harness that, channel it, or just do
Right.
it in general. But I think
Do
that's,
it in general. I think that's good.
I think
Yeah.
that would be, I think it would be possible.
Right.
Well,
Can you-
I think in people who have DID or have, you know, characters that they switch into or people or other personalities or, you know, what have you, I'm pretty sure, or at least this is sort of the perception that I have, that their brain chemistry is different. It is like a different person. Like it's not you as a character. It's like it is a different person. So I feel like even though physically you might not be able to handle pain, but one of your personalities might be, especially because a lot of times, you know, personalities develop from trauma. And so you may not be able to handle the pain or trauma, but your other personality can. So I do think that that's actually like already possible. But of course, if you guys are more knowledgeable on that, please let me know. Let others know in the comments. Seriously, this whole video, like just comment down below your experiences, your thoughts. We're here to learn. I'm here to learn for sure. And we're here to share our stories and experiences and, you know, find comfort in community. So
For me, that the switches to the character motto,
especially
it
as
kind of
when
has that
people
representation
switch,
of
they don't remember it
knowing
as
different
their
things. And this is why I say
main
this is probably
person,
why Black
you
Out
know?
because it's kind of more like he sounds different, reaches a octave that I can't reach.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's a physical change.
There's a physical change and a whole demeanor change and knowledge change. So there'll be things that I have no knowledge about, and he would have a lot of knowledge.
Which bring, okay, not to get too deep.
Yep.
But you, being Ian as you are now,
Yep.
you cannot hit a certain octave.
Yes, that's
But
correct.
you switch to this other character,
and
you
certain
can,
octave. That's
which
correct.
means your body, you have the
capability
to do that.
Yeah.
So is it a matter of just making your mind, just believing in yourself?
I think so.
Is that kind of what it is? Like if you can just believe, and is that?
I don't know. I've tried so many times because what we do is we record this, and
You would definitely have to
just
work with
for
a specialist, you know, to kind of see like if
my
that's
team has been
possible or if
on
it
it
is
for a
to kind of
while.
hone
Right.
that. But it is very
And,
interesting to
it's something
about.
so paranormal to me that it's hard to believe, and at the same time, like you are seeing it and you just can't make sense of it.
That's fascinating.
To answer the question, yes, I also do believe in the
Learning how to
paranormal.
harness that is the kicker. I'm guessing.
kicker
For anyone, not just you. But
There are ghosts that live in this house.
Ian,
and I'm not
you are
kidding.
a fascinating dude.
Oh,
and you gotta. I mean, we
He
gotta
is.
chat more.
Like
and
I said,
get
he's
some
beautiful
food.
inside
I
and
live in
out.
LA now.
I would love to. Thank
I've
you so much.
really enjoyed
Well,
learning more
final-
about him.
Final question, I promise.
Yes.
Message to your fans. What would you like to say to your fans? New fans, current, old fans, whatever.
Yeah, I would honestly like to say, everything like we even talked about today. Like we call our fans dreamers,
Mm-hmm.
and
I think it's such a
I
cute
think
name.
literally like our fans are the only reason we're like really doing this. Honestly, I don't know any other reason to be doing this.
Mhm.
I'm not chasing anything else but to give a voice to our dreamers and fans out there. Well, not even just fans too, just people that kind of need reassurance.
Mhm.
I always found the idea of being perfect was accepting how imperfect everything is,
Mhm.
and
Love that.
I think that's kind of generally what needs more representation of. Hence, which is why our team in DPR and all that, we really kind of do strive for that. And I think at the end of the day, it really just does boil down to it's because we're doing it for our fans and the people out there that hopefully become our fans.
Yeah.
So I just want to say a big thank you, and we always find our way to you guys. We always do. So just keep that in mind, and obviously we have so many new things coming out. The whole Dear Insanity EP, and the law continues. And we love them so much. I don't know what else to say.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure of mine. Thank you so much. It's an honor. Really.
It's honor's mine. At the end of every interview, Ian, fist bump to make it official. Give me a little.
Yeah.
Go.
So cute. that was so good. Like, first of all, this guy, Jojo, he's really cool. Seems like a very down to earth guy. And of course, Ian himself, like keep saying, so beautiful, so beautiful. He has a very beautiful heart. You can just tell he is a good person and he is trying to give people a voice, like he said, give people representation that's real and, not this like Hollywood. That's the thing is like Hollywood portrays mental health so dangerously. And yes, sometimes it can be dangerous. But most people who deal with these sorts of things are not yearning to hurt people. You know? Like they are living their lives just trying to survive like everyone else, trying to form connections and trying to create music and art and you know, I think artistry is so important for people, especially who deal with these sorts of things, to have that outlet and to spread their story and talk to people who also have experiences with that. Let people know it's okay. You're loved. We're all in this together. Hashtag High School Musical. But seriously, I think that his music and his message is so important. I think especially these days where there's a lot that's the thing is like we've progressed so much as a society and yet we're still here. The way we are towards different people. So I think it's so we just need more celebrities like this who are in it genuinely to spread their message, to spread their experiences, let people know they're just trying to live, they're trying to create, they're good, beautiful people. And I love Ian and I can't wait to check out more from him. Like I said, I'm probably not going to do any more interviews on the channel unless they're like less than an hour just because they're so long and it's tiring and definitely glad that I chose this one because like I said my back is hurting and I don't think I could have sat here for an hour doing this even though this took an hour, but whatever. But yeah, amazing. I can't wait to check him out again and do his next album. I'm not going to do the full album in one. It'll be in a couple videos, but I am going to do the little like teaser movie thing that he had. What was it? The Mido movie. I'm definitely going to do that and then I'll check out a couple songs. So, we're going to do that next time. Don't know when exactly cuz like I said I've sort of changed how I do random K-pop Wednesdays now. It's just sort of like randomized. So, but of course you can subscribe if you don't want to miss a thing. If you're interested in any of the other groups that I check out, you can subscribe for that too. And yeah, so that'll be pretty much it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you would like to go watch another video, you can click on that one right there. You don't have to, but it's there if you want it. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.